Welcome to the Raw Food Health Empowerment Podcast, where we delve into the powerful benefits of a holistic, high raw, vegan lifestyle for achieving optimal health, brain function, and overall well-being. This podcast is not just about personal health, we're also passionate about community development and creating a culture of health through business and collaboration. Join us as we explore the intersection of raw food, holistic health, and community building to empower ourselves and others to live our best lives. I'm your host, Samantha Salmon, certified integrative nutrition coach and brain health licensed trainer. And today we are talking about unlocking the mystery, why you're gaining weight while traveling, and how to reverse direction. But before we get into this, I do want to let you know about some helpful resources on rawfoodmealplanner.com. If you're looking to nourish your gut, have a healthy gut so you could have a healthy brain and a better quality of life, you could download that checklist on how to diversify your gut microbiome. We also have a strategy sheet for intermittent fasting called Fasting Made Easy in 7 Steps, strategies for reducing stress, improving sleep, and staying motivated. And if you're looking for raw vegan meal plans, then you may want to get into the 30-day raw vegan challenge. It has a month of raw vegan meal plans, all broken down with macros, calories, and all of that already done for you. All right, so let's get into these insights on why you're gaining weight while traveling. It is summertime. A lot of us are traveling. Me personally, I am traveling through Poland to a variety of different cities for the next 3 months. And so I'm on the same boat with you. Now, whether or not I'm personally gaining weight or not, I don't know. I don't really track my weight like that. In Florida, which is where I live, I go to a local gym. Every 3 months, they do an in-body scan to tell me my body composition. So that's my muscle mass, body fat, water weight, and things like this. This is what I'm more concerned about than my actual weight. You can weigh the same and be healthier than you were in the past, but you still weigh the same. You know what I'm saying? And why is that? Because it's not so much about weight, it's about body composition. Your bones weigh what they weigh, your fat weighs what it weighs, and your muscle weighs what it weighs, right? But if you build muscle and burn the fat, right? Because muscle burns fat, so you have more muscle, less fat, you could still weigh the same, but you can also make the argument that you are actually healthier because all of the things you needed to do in order to build that muscle and burn that fat improves metabolic function, which improves all sorts of areas of your body, right? Your cognitive health, your cardiovascular system, all of the things, right? So for me, I'm more concerned about body composition for metabolic health than I am about weight. Weight does not really tell me much unless you are in the obese category, right? So at that level, then yes, all that weight is putting pressure on the kidneys, which is not a good thing, right? So that's when we kind of want to have to scale down on the weight. But once you eat a high raw vegan diet, you move daily in a joyful manner, meaning you're doing something that you don't hate, you're doing something that you love and enjoy, and also you mitigate stress as much as possible. This will allow your body to regulate, come to homeostasis, so you're at a healthy weight for you. You're within your healthy weight range. One of the problems that folks have is that traveling often leads to weight gain due to a combination of unhealthy food choices, limited physical activity, disrupted routines, right? So the solution for this is to implement mindful eating strategies and prioritize movement to maintain healthy weight while on the go. What does that look like for me personally? I'll share is that when I first started this journey, I was on vacation. So I did a lot of vacation eating with the nachos, which were delicious. I had French toast, which was pretty decent. things that I don't make at home, but I wanted to try because I'm on vacation. I'm in a new place. I'm trying things by these skilled vegan chefs that I want to see what they're doing. I want to try what they're making. Okay. However, eating like that cannot continue for 3 months, right? So I had 2 weeks of that. Now I have a place with a kitchen, and now I need to get back to regular eating for my health and longevity, right? In terms of incorporating movement, I've been walking about 5 miles a day minimum. One day I even did up to 20,000 steps. It's been crazy, right? It's been more than my body's used to, but it's just because I'm checking out all these new different cities and traveling and doing like the touristy thing. So just walking everywhere. But even going grocery shopping and things like this, walking to grocery shop and stuff like this. Poland tends to be, which is where I am, Poland tends to be a very like active country so far in all the cities that I've been to. People are physically doing things, right? In Warsaw, people are taking public transportation, they're walking around, they're biking places, they have designated bike lanes. Same thing with Lublin, lots of folks are walking. So because of it's such an active city, it encourages you to be active as well. Also, if you're backpacking through Europe or through Poland, you also may want to keep costs down. And so your feet are going to be cheaper than gas, right? For me, it's been working out pretty well in terms of activity, in terms of cardiovascular activity. But one thing that I haven't really gotten to do much of is strength training. They do have a lot of outdoor gyms here in Poland, which has been great, has been really fun playing around with those. And if you follow me on YouTube, I have been documenting a lot of my trip on there, so you could check me out on YouTube at Samantha Salmon, and I'll also make sure to post a link in the description below. Now, you could follow portion sizes if you're really concerned about overeating while you're traveling. But my personal strategy that I do is intermittent fasting to curb overeating. Why? Because I like to eat, I enjoy food, and I find that portion sizes tend to be a little bit too restrictive for me. So what works better for me is eating to satisfaction within an 8-hour window. And outside of that 8-hour window, I practice fasting. I use that time to load up on water to make sure I'm getting sufficient amounts of water on a daily basis. This is what I do at home, and this is also what I'm implementing while traveling. You want to focus on nutrient-dense foods like fresh fruits, vegetables, your clean proteins like your nuts, seeds, beans, things of that nature, healthy fats, which would be your avocados. So if you focus on that thing, you can keep your health goals in check and keep moving towards a healthy weight range. Also, finding opportunities for physical activity. So like I said, taking the stairs if you can instead of the elevator, going for walks, exploring the area on foot. Okay, so problem number 2. Traveling often disrupts regular meal patterns, leading to irregular eating habits and excessive snacking. So the solution for this is to plan and pack healthy snacks to avoid mindless munching on unhealthy options. For me personally, what this looks like, luckily I don't have to do too much planning so far since I've been in Poland, because there's a chain of stores called Żabka, which is very similar to the 7-Eleven. They always have nuts and things there, water, so if I need something, I can always get it there. And they're perfectly packed in just these small little RE portion size little packets, and they're unsalted. They're just perfect for the healthy eater. You can also get cut fruits and vegetables. They actually sell fruits and vegetables in the Żabka. But the nuts I find is just really very convenient for when you're on the go, just walking around. Definitely is a great option. If you're in an Airbnb or something like that with a kitchen, then you want to make sure to visit your local grocery stores or even a Żabka and get those vegetables in, right? Load up the vegetables just like you would at home, but prepare it and do it in a way that's going to be convenient for you. So that's with the healthy proteins, healthy fats, and fiber and things like this. Hummus is where I'm getting the protein. I did get some beans in glass bottles that I haven't got into yet, but I'm hoping to get into soon. And of course, loads of fiber. If you are eating whole food vegan, then you're gonna be getting fiber from just about everything. Okay, so number 3, the problem, right? Frequent dining out and indulging in rich, calorie-dense meals while traveling can contribute to weight gain, right? Because you have these restaurants, they're using a ton of oil. So you want to seek out healthier dining options to make mindful choices when you're eating out. And what does that look like? That means finding your vegan restaurants, right? That's going to your Happy Cow app or going on Google and searching for vegan restaurants, looking at the salad menu, looking at the meals that they have that are all whole foods, right? So minimally processed, not the fake meats, not the fake cheeses and things like this. This is gonna help you stay as close to whole, fiber-rich, water-rich as much as possible, which will help to maintain a healthy weight or help guide you to a healthy weight. Now, a great portion control option is to share dishes. So if you ever eaten at an Ethiopian restaurant, they love to share, right? You'll get a veggie combo for 2 or 3 or 4 and you share with other people. But you can do that at any of these restaurants. Share your stuff so you're eating a little bit less if that's something that you're interested in doing, right? Me personally, like I said, I don't really like to do the portion control because I would hate to walk into a restaurant, spend money to get full and satisfied and leave there not full and not satisfied. I like to make sure I eat to satisfaction during my feasting window for that reason. Problem number 4, traveling often involves long periods of sitting, leading to a sedentary lifestyle and decreased calorie expenditure. So incorporate movement and physical activity into your travel routine to offset the effects of prolonged sitting. Typically, like what this looks like for me personally, the only time I've experienced the prolonged sitting has been on the long flights. But so far, every time I come to Poland, I tend to be walking a lot, going from here to there and all these different places. And so if you're doing an active travel trip, then that's probably not an issue. But if you are maybe visiting family or you tend to sit on the couch a lot, I know when I go to New York, I'll probably be doing a lot of that with my mom because we don't really see each other too much physically in person throughout the year. So when I go to New York, that one time a year, we spend a lot of time on the couch chatting it up, or I'm at the foot of her bed and we're chatting it up, or I'm sitting in the kitchen because my mom basically lives in the kitchen, chatting it up with her, just sitting there. So, but what I typically do, or what I did last time, was we would take walks together so we could chat it up on walks in the neighborhood. Or, you know, if I'm in the kitchen and she's doing her thing, making meals or cleaning up or whatever, I'm there doing lunges and squats while I'm talking to her, you know, doing some kind of simple exercises. Same thing, like, you know, if I'm in the bedroom, she's laying down chilling or whatever, or if we're in the living room and, you know, I'm playing music, I'm dancing, she'll get up and dance. And so this is how organically movement comes into play, right? And once you get into the rhythm of moving your body on a regular basis, you start to actually feel when you are sitting too much or even like standing too much, right? Those extremes you'll become a little bit more sensitive to. So you'll know, you know, your body will basically tell you, okay, movement break, it's now time. Even at the airport, you know, I've had, you know, on my trip coming to Poland, I had to charge my phone. I stood up while I charged my phone, because I knew I was going to be on an 8.5-hour flight after that point. So I figured, let me get my standing in from now, because I'll be sitting for a long time. Now, in terms of like fitness, I'm lucky enough to be in a space now where they have a gym, but I have always had, over the past few years, Beachbody On Demand subscription. It's not that much money. Even though I have a gym subscription, gym membership, I've always had the Beachbody On Demand because I've been a fan of Beachbody ever since I was a child. I love their programs. And so when I'm traveling, even if I'm in the hotel, there's something I can do, some kind of exercise or something like that. And one thing I realized that I missed this trip, but I'm saying it so much that I'm pretty sure I will remember. Plus I have a packing list that I use every time I need to pack to go somewhere. So I've added this to my packing list now, are resistance bands, because resistance bands is strength training on the go, and it really does not take up space at all. For some reason, I didn't think about it when I packed this time, but this is definitely something that's easy to pack and carry, and there's lots of exercises on Beachbody On Demand that you can do, and I'm pretty sure you can even find free exercises on YouTube also that you can do with this. You can also go sightseeing, hiking or biking, local fitness classes, right? Like the gym here, they have fitness classes. When I go to New York, I plan to do some Pilates classes with my mom. So I've already packed the socks and my gym wear for all of that. But I want to introduce her to Pilates Reformer. So I'm hoping to be able to take her there. But these are just some ideas to get you thinking, like, when you're traveling, how to continue, right? You started your weight loss journey at home, and now you have to travel for whatever reason, or you want to travel for whatever reason, how to continue these practices. Problem number 5, lack of sleep and jet lag can disrupt your body's natural rhythm and lead to weight gain. So the solution, prioritize quality sleep and establish healthy sleep habits while traveling. How does this look like for me? Well, I tend to not really have a problem sleeping unless I'm in an environment that's really uncomfortable. So like the AC is, I don't have a problem with a space being too cold at night when I sleep, because when it's cooler at night when I sleep is pretty good. But I stayed at a hotel recently where when the AC was on, my whole sinus was just like, not liking it. It was very irritated. So it's possible that their vents were not the cleanest they could be. I don't have any proof of that other than how I felt, right? Which is, that feeling why I tend to not sleep with fans and things, because they tend to be dirty and blow around dust, and it irritates my sinuses, right? So this stuff can disrupt my sleep. So basically, I just try to make myself as comfortable as possible, or one thing that typically will disrupt my sleep when I'm sleeping in a bed that's not my own is if the bed does not feel like it's clean, right? If it's moist or damp, which I had that experience in Kingston, Jamaica when I went, and I stayed at this hotel called the Pegasus, which is supposed to be the top hotel in Kingston, right? But the room I was in, the bed did not feel clean. The sheets felt damp. It felt like someone else had slept in there before me and sweated. And I just could not sleep the entire night. It was the worst experience, And recently on this trip in Poland, I slept in a place where because they don't do fitted sheets in Poland, apparently. There's no fitted. They just use a flat sheet and put it over the bed, over the mattress pad or whatever. So now I know, I make a note. Next time, when I go to New York and I come back, I'm coming back with a fitted sheet. Next time I come to Europe, I'm coming with a fitted sheet. They also don't do washcloths, so definitely bring your rag, because they do things differently here. It's a different culture. But I don't feel comfortable touching the mattress, right? Because mattresses don't get washed, they don't get changed as frequently as sheets do. So that kind of hygiene thing, I have a difficult time sleeping. So how do I overcome this to have proper sleep? First of all, I try to stay in those places as short a period as possible, right? Because some of these things is just hard to change at the place. If a hotel is not cleaning their vents, what am I going to do? I just need to find another hotel, or sleep without the AC, or, just when I wake up, get hydrated, drink some neem tea or some kind of ginger tea, which is what I was doing to kind of make my sinuses feel a little better after the fact when I wake up, you know? Of course, next time traveling with the fitted sheet, just making sure that the sheets are right, all of these things that would keep me from having a nice restful sleep. For some folks, issues like sun exposure, if the room is not too dark or if it's too hot, stuff like this could be an issue. So you kind of want to just make the necessary changes you need for yourself, whether that means buying earplugs, making sure you pull curtains or pull shades down, and maybe even possibly having valerian extract with you when you travel so that you can stay asleep, get into deep sleep, so you're probably less sensitive to some of these things. Going to sleep with some deep breathing, meditation, or gentle stretching before bed to kind of put you in the mood of sleep. Some of these same techniques that work when you're home, they can also work when you travel. All right, problem number 6, stress and emotional eating often accompany travel, which leads to overeating and weight gain. So the solution is to implement stress management strategies and cultivate a mindful eating practice. One of the ways I alleviate stress out of travel is to have some kind of consistency as much as possible. So if you have a plan for how you're going to eat and what you're going to eat, kind of stick with that so you don't always have to recreate the wheel every time. Also, incorporating some stress relief activities, journaling, maybe yoga, engaging in some fun hobbies, meditation, something, whatever works for you at home. Bring that in travel worlds, you know, if stress is starting to be an issue. Part of that is also practicing mindful eating, right? Savoring each bite, eating slowly, not being in a rush. You know, if you're on vacation, be on vacation. Like, slow down, enjoy the moment, be present. So problem number 7, limited access to healthy food options while traveling can lead to reliance on processed or fast food, which makes sense. It's just easier. So the solution is to plan ahead and prioritize finding local markets or grocery stores to source fresh, nutritious ingredients. Now, sometimes this may look like you're not having organic, right? So in my case, in Poland, some of the groceries that I've purchased have not always been organic, and some of it, surprisingly, has been fine. I'm not really too sure about the depths at which, how bad the chemical exposure to food is here, but I find that people tend to be more holistic in how they are approaching everything. So I kind of trust it a little bit more, and I've had good experiences, but I've had to kind of relax my need or concern about organic while traveling, buying produce and things like this. But at least I'm getting produce, because personally for me, like, I eat raw primarily for healthy digestion and a good mood, but it does affect my mental state. It affects my ability to have energy, to focus and be productive and things like this. And so just getting those raw foods in has been helpful for me. So as long as the issue with having foods that aren't organic for me just tend to be that I get irritation, but I've not had the irritation in my throat or chest or anything like that with the non-organic foods that I've purchased here in Poland. As I've mentioned on some previous episodes, that it's really helpful to get accommodations with kitchen facilities so that you can prepare your meals and know what's going in and kind of have some controls around that. And if you don't, go into the convenience stores or restaurants that have the salads, that have healthy, clean proteins like the beans, the lentils, things like this. Maybe they're serving fruit, smoothies, and juices and things like that. All right, problem 8, traveling often disrupts regular hydration habits, leading to dehydration and potential weight gain. So the solution is to stay vigilant about hydrating your body and choosing hydrating beverages over sugary or calorie-laden drinks. How does this look like for me personally? So me personally, I do not drink anything other than water or tea. Now, the most outside of that, I drink juices and smoothies, right? But I consider these fruits, fruits and vegetables, right? The only thing outside of that I would drink is carbonated water. And they have here in Poland, by my favorite water company, Zdrój. So I'm going to show you one because I have it actually with me. But if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can't really see it. But it's Zdrój. So it has lemon in it. And this one is not gazowane, which means it's not carbonated. The carbonated one with fruit infused water is so good. Oh my goodness, so good. But I've noticed it's difficult to find it at every grocery store. They don't necessarily have it at every grocery store. You'll find carbonated water, at everywhere, but you won't necessarily find the fruit infused carbonated one. But you will in some spots, which is annoying because I had a lemon and mint carbonated drink that was so delicious and I've been wanting it ever since and I haven't been able to find it. And so it sucks. But life goes on. But these drinks, they don't add calories. They don't add anything that will cause any weight gain. It's just fun to consume. It tastes good and it's healthy. It's not like some kind of sugar, whatever that they add. It's like an actual fruit infused water. Problem number 9, lack of routine and structure while traveling can lead to mindless eating and unhealthy snacking. So the solution, establish a meal schedule and practice mindful eating to maintain control over your food choices. What does that look like? Set regular meal times, aim to stick to them as closely as possible. For me personally, I am just mirroring what I have been doing at home and doing it while I'm traveling. I'm over the adjusting to the new time zone thing and all of this. Also had my vacation eating for a nice 2-week run. And so now we're settling into real life eating, right? So that means your meal times, if you're practicing intermittent fasting, this is when your feast starts, this is when your feast ends. And so your fasting starts now for 16 hours. And then also with that, doing calm, relaxing activities. I think this helps to not be as hungry all the time when you're doing fun activities, things that are relaxing and engaging. Now, problem 10, lack of preparation and awareness can lead to impulsive food choices and unhealthy eating while traveling. So the solution is to plan your meals and snacks in advance and make conscious decisions based on your health goals. So what does that look like? That looks like creating a travel meal plan that includes a mix of balanced meals, snacks, fruits, vegetables. To me, a meal plan is how am I going to get what I need and when am I going to get it to make sure that I never run out of what I need, right? So this can look like a variety of different ways depending on your situation and where you are, right? So if you have a kitchen, it's making sure it's stocked for the amount of food you need for the time that you're going to be there with that kitchen. If you don't have a kitchen, knowing the places that you're going to go to for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever that looks like for you, the kinds of foods that you're going to have, right? Knowing that you can go to XYZ restaurant and get what you need when you need it, right? That's meal planning. And also you can pack your own snacks, the trail mixes, the fruits, vegetables, nuts, and you can continue to keep a food journal if it's helpful for you and track your meals and snacks. Maybe this can, if you're new on the journey, this can probably help you identify certain foods that are triggers, that are actually causing pain and uncomfortability as you are eating a variety of different meals, just keeping track. But if you're doing a short-term trip vacation, you don't have to really go that far. I mean, for some people it makes sense and for others it's just doing too much. So find what works best for you. I hope this episode has been helpful for you. Enjoy your summer and safe travels.